Maybe, Andrew, if you have it, actually, we're talking a lot about Vandenberg. We did have the 30th send us a cool video from the Space Launch Delta 30, who is out here with range support, supporting this mission here today, because there's a lot, you got to make sure everything's good to go, that there's no range violations, even, people in traffic, and people on base, but even the sky, the sea, I mean, everything has to be under consideration to keep range safety clear. So we actually have a video that was sent to us from Space Launch Delta 30, and we're going to roll that here, and we can learn more a little bit about what they do.
Vandenberg Space Force Base's top priority is to assure access to space and safety for all of our launch partners, including Firefly.
The mission of Firefly is to make space for everybody. And what that means is to allow access to space for even the smaller payloads. We're here at Slick 2 getting ready for our second flight of the Alpha vehicle. We're very excited about it. It's really been great working with the range and the base on safety, flight safety, public safety, pretty much all aspects, getting ready for a mission.
So yeah, huge shout out to Vandenberg Space Force Base out here for providing support on today's mission. Pretty impressive to work alongside them, and I know that this would not be possible without them. So pretty excellent there. This is a fun little anecdote here for our audience. Again, if you're joining us, I don't know how I've been so lucky and fortunate enough to be able to provide this opportunity for you on behalf, working with Firefly. It's been amazing. But for us here at Team Everyday Astronaut, this is from Chris L. I'm impressed that Everyday Astronaut have managed to get from SLS launch in Cape Canaveral in Florida to Vandenberg, from Vandenberg from Cape Canaveral, Florida to Vandenberg, California. Even Google can't calculate the distance. It's very far. Ryan and I, from Cosmic Perspective, drove it in basically 3 full days, and then we had 2 little, we had kind of like a little half-day situation. But we knocked it out of the park, driving an old news van across the country. That's how we're able to provide you guys this feed. It was quite the journey, but yeah, it's definitely worth it, because here we are looking at a vehicle that is looking good to launch. So let's see here. This is a good question from Jonathan. Will you be able to see this from Los Angeles? Because it's a day launch, and it's a relatively small vehicle, there's no solid rocket booster, so it's not going to be leaving a big condensation trail behind it. I would say no. If you knew exactly where to look, and you had really good eyes, and maybe you just knew exactly which direction to look, you might be able to catch it. You might, but because it is actually flying kind of southwest. But even daytime launches flying straight south are relatively hard to catch from Los Angeles. Nighttime's a different story. If this was night, I think it'd be quite a bit easier, but that is not the case. It is full-blown, bright blue skies, bright daylight out here. So, yeah, I kind of doubt you'll be able to see it from California, or from Los Angeles, but I think you should try. I think you should try. Thank you so much from that taco guy for the gas money. We really appreciate that. From Ben Glasgow wants to know, if I were a rocket, what rocket would I be and why? Well, rockets are meant to fly, so I think, if I had to be a rocket right now, it'd be this rocket, because it's right about to fly. Why would you choose anything else right now? This is a really exciting rocket that's right about to take off, so I'd want my first opportunity to fly. So I'd be Firefly's Alpha rocket, and carbon composite, and I want to be the first in something. I feel like this is an appropriate question. How is the internet in the Luna van? Is it fiber? Yeah, it is. It is fiber. We're literally piped into, I think, about the best internet you can have. And even despite that, sometimes things get ornery. We don't exactly know what that technical issue is. Again, we had been on support with some teams from our encoder in order to see what that issue was. And we don't know why that happens. We didn't lose any data up in the cloud, so it's actually a handoff from Teradek to YouTube. That's the issue. I actually have this little chart right here. It shows perfect data going up into the cloud. So hopefully we get that figured out here at some point. We do have an update that prop load is complete. So we are waiting. Our next milestone that we're waiting for at this point is to hear confirmation of a good go no go poll, so we can give you guys any updates. We'll give you any updates that we have about the status of today's launch. You know, obviously that's what we're here for. So let's see. Again, I feel like I should answer this one more time. Just what is the launch visibility like on the West Coast? You likely will not be able to see it, you know, too far away. If you're too far away from Vandenberg area, from Lompoc, you know, you won't be able to. You probably won't be able to see it too far away. It is a relatively small vehicle. Can we actually pull up the specs of the rocket on the side of the screen at some point? Because it would be kind of fun to talk about the size and stuff like that. So, actually, we have that. Yeah, look at that. How cool is this? So it's almost 30 meters tall, about 30 meters tall, 95 feet tall. So this is actually in the world of you know, small sat launchers, this is actually a very large small sat vehicle. It's coming up almost on some medium class vehicle sizes. Diameter is 1.8 meters, so 6 feet wide. So if you're like, I'm just under 6 foot tall, I could walk straight down the fuselage of this vehicle. It's again quite large actually. The propellant for this vehicle is LOX and RP1. So we sometimes we'll call that Kerolox. So kerosene and liquid oxygen. That's what this vehicle uses on both stages. Then there's 4 Reaver engines on the first stage of this vehicle and 1 Lightning engine powering the upper stage, which is also tap-off. So this company's diving deep into the tap-off cycle, which again, I think is super cool, and I just can't wait to see it fly. So I didn't quite catch what they're saying on comms. Do we have any updates here? Confirm. I can hear it, but I can't talk and hear at the same time. I'm not that talented. So let's see. This is a good question here. This is something that the range gets to deal with. Being a new rocket, is there a bigger radius than normal around the pad that's closed off in case something goes wrong to avoid injuring anybody?
T-minus 8 minutes
so,
and 20 seconds. Fuel pre-press will be getting shortly.
Fuel pre-press will be getting shortly. So, yeah, I heard that. That's exciting. Fuel pre-press will be getting shortly. That means the vehicle is topped off, and they're basically going to begin pressurizing the rocket to be able to, you know, be ready for flight status. So you do have to pressurize the tanks up to operational pressure. So, but yeah, back to this question. The good thing is, you know, the range gets to clear off Vandenberg Space Force Base, which is already a closed off area. So as far as the ground closures, it's relatively easy because it's a controlled environment already. They set up radiuses and stuff like that. But again, this is flying a pretty unique corridor because it is flying west. So there is particular considerations there for the range to consider with closures for marine traffic and air traffic as well. But I don't know if the actual like size, because it's new, is any different or anything like that. But you know, there's definitely considerations when it is the first time a company, or in this case, the second time a company is going for orbit. There definitely are some considerations, you know. So I don't know exactly what those are, but this is on a Space Force base in California. So there is a large perimeter away from any public areas. So let's see. I'm kind of getting some updates here, so I'm really excited because things are looking good. I just want to confirm to our teams that we have cameras rolling and things. We're going to be ready to go on our high-speed cameras. We have everything looking good. So, yeah. Let's see. So from Solaris, this is kind of something I talked about briefly. What major modifications have been made since the previous rocket? So that's actually what's pretty cool. To be honest, they didn't really have to upgrade or change too many things on this vehicle. Their design was really quite impressive right off the get-go. The vehicle was designed, you know, for orbit already, but they had the opportunity between Flight 1 and Flight 2 to kind of clean some, like for instance, the engine bay and some of the plumbing and wiring and things on a first dev flight, you know, were a little bit more like breadboard style, where you have easy access to things and they're easy to you know, work on if there's, you know, a leak or something like that. Things are just relatively easy on the very first rocket, and they were able to clean some of that stuff up on the second rocket already. So those are some of the things that they were able to fix and just kind of clean up. But hardware-wise, it's virtually the same. They just made some small tweaks here and there, but yeah, that shows the confidence of the design and the system overall.
Strong back retract will be at T-minus 5:30.
So we are about to see the strong back retract in about 20 seconds. So that's the thing holding onto the rocket, the thing that takes the rocket from horizontal to vertical, and it has the clamps holding onto it, it has the umbilical systems. We're going to be looking here and observing here in about 5 seconds, looking for that to recline just a little bit, which gives freedom and room for the rocket to lift off. So this is
retract is beginning.
A really good sign. I just heard strong back retract is beginning. There it goes, clear as day. That is amazing. So yeah, that's a good sign, my friends. That is a very good sign. So now is reclining into its go position. And as you know then...
Please begin final checks. Note for the T-minus 2 minute call. Any no-go at this time will be an automatic abort.
Okay, so they are, guys, they're going for it. They're T-minus 5 minutes.
T-minus 5 minutes. Strongback is in the launch position.
Strongback is in launch position. We have confirmation of that. That is looking fantastic. So yeah, you can see now, you know, it gives room for the rocket to go vertical and gives room for the umbilicals, which are how they fuel and power the rocket while it's on the pad. Gives those a chance to be able to be pulled clean and pulled away. So yeah, this is all looking good. Again, I had to admire just, this is only their second launch attempt ever, and they're
T-minus 4 minutes and 30 seconds. RC, please begin pulling western range for no-go call at T-minus 2 minutes.
They're literally on track to launch at the opening window of their second launch attempt ever. This is incredible. How can they have this kind of timeline management already for such a new startup company and a new vehicle? I mean, this is stuff that you only see companies that have been launching for decades be able to receive this kind of cadence and this kind of... This is really impressive. I'm not saying that to butter anybody up, I promise. This is genuinely just
4 minutes.
me
FTS
impressed.
Confirmed FTRs are active and range is transmitting check channel 4.
Confirmed. FTRs are active, transmitting check channel.
FTS, send ARM enable 1 command to all ESADs.
ARM 1 sent.
FTS, send ARM enable 2 command to all ESADs.
ARM 2 sent.
FTS, confirm that all ESADs are enabled.
FTS confirms. All ESADs are enabled. Fly safe.
You heard it there, guys. FTS is enabled, so flight termination system is enabled. They are going for launch. We need to do one more thing here at Everyday Astronaut. We have a little tradition.
Please confirm your monitoring fuel bleed.
We need to check that the pointy end is up and the flamey end is down. Let me tell you guys, I've had a good amount of time around this vehicle. I can confirm from our end that the pointy end is up and the flamey end is down. So that's confirmation from me. There's the pointy end, and there's the flamey end. Boom. Pointy end up, flamey end down. From our end, us casual observers, this thing looks good to go. You can see
3 minutes, fuel bleed is starting.
fuel bleed, so you can see the engine's getting ready to cool down to be able to...
Go, no-go at T-minus 2 minutes. Any no-go at this time is an automatic abort.
This is prop. I can confirm flow and fuel bleed.
Copy, thank you. I believe we hold this for 90 seconds.
Vehicle will be energized.
T-minus 2 minutes. This is the final commit for launch.
This is a very big thing here, the
Started.
T-minus 2 minute poll.
Line 3. Line press.
Chief engineer,
Send it.
launch director,
Go for launch.
Rock,
Range green.
12.21, confirmed, buying off. T-minus 1 minute and 50 seconds.
I can't believe this. They're going for it already. Like, how are they doing this? I mean, we are T-minus 1 minute, 30 seconds. We're looking go for launch.
T-minus
I
130.
can't believe this. Trying to do a little extra bonus cam action here for us.
Cruise alarm.
Abort, abort, abort. We have these two PH tests at 1700 PSI.
Abort, abort, abort.
Aborting.
You heard it, guys. We have an abort. We will stand by for more information on why that was.
Taking abort actions at this time.
So they do have a 4-hour launch window here today, so don't call it
Confirm there
yet.
are no fires on video.
Confirmed.
GC, please stop please close NV 598599 Alpha Bravo. VC, confirm the following prevals are closed.
Confirm prevals are closed.
Helium bubble is active.
Bubble is active.
S1 fuel tank is maintaining between 30 and 36 psi.
Confirmed.
Verify all other tanks are vented.
Confirmed.
GC, please verify the T-tap tank is vented.
T-tip tank is not there.
Confirmed.
Is it below 100? We'll keep.
T-tip.
Go ahead. Please open TV 605.
TV 605 open.
Verify that the TVC tank is vented.
Yep. It's empty.
Verify swim system is vented and cavity purges are active.
Is it moved?
VC, please verify the C-REO is in the release safe state.
Sounds like a first case.
VC, please confirm C-REO is in the release safe state. I have safe on the.
So you guys are hearing there. We are. You guys have heard that they have gone for they've called an abort, but again they have a 4-hour launch window here. So that was right at the top, right exactly at the top of their launch window. They called an abort, and actually, again this is only their second launch attempt ever. So there's a chance they have an opportunity to reset, and hopefully we still have a chance to fly today. We will await a new T0 time here for you guys, and we will get you guys updated on that as soon as we know anything. But currently we are back in a hold, which means our teams here get a chance to breathe a sigh of relief because we are definitely running the scramble game. But yeah, holy cow! I thought, oh man, my heart was racing. My heart was absolutely racing. So this is an opportunity. This is what's fun about these kind of streams, is that we get to tell you guys, we get to chat and hang out. Because after all, spaceflight is a bit of a spectator sport for some of us here. We get to enjoy rocket launches, talk spaceflight history, talk aerospace, talk rocket science. And I get to kill time with my friends here as we learn what exactly is going to be happening here. So. Yeah, again, we are just awaiting more information and what's going to happen today in today's 4-hour launch window. So again, thank you all. If you are watching, please continue to watch, because hopefully we'll learn more about today's launch attempt, see if there's another opportunity in this window. But also, you guys, this is a really exciting opportunity for this launch company. And I know it means the world. They literally have. So many employees have come up to me and just said how excited they are to be able to share this with people, and how much it means that people are watching the hard work that they get to do. I mean, I know I'm just simply a conduit to be able to provide this stuff to you guys. But really, you guys watching and cheering for this company just really means the world to everyone working on this vehicle. I've just had the opportunity and the pleasure of meeting so many people, and they all say that they're so excited that we get to share this with the world. So let's hear it. Just give a hand for them for aiming for minute like T0 right at the top of their launch window. A date that they've had in the books for months. That's impressive. That's genuinely impressive. So yeah, thank you again to everyone for watching. Hopefully we learn more and more here, and we'll update you guys as soon as we can. But meanwhile, we want to give you guys a few extra questions here. So this is from Budarowski saying, Tim, what's the difference between the Firefly Alpha, Beta, and the new Antares first stage? Thank you, Tim. So right now, the Alpha is the only rocket that they're flying at the moment. This is their first rocket. This is their opportunity to learn a lot on a little bit smaller scale. The Beta rocket will be a lot larger, and its first stage is virtually the same, at least at first, as Antares, and it uses much bigger tap-off cycle engines called Miranda engines, and so it's going to be a much larger vehicle, much more powerful. So it doesn't even share the same exact engines, but it does share the same engine technology, being that it is tap-off. So. Yeah, so I don't know yet if we're going to see it first on Antares or if we're going to see it first as the Beta rocket. I don't know. I'll try to learn about that, because that's going to be really exciting. I mean, seeing how developed this system is already for its attempts is awesome. So I can't wait to see them scale up and continue doing big things. But the cool thing is they definitely are wanting to fly this rocket and continue flying it alongside of even larger rockets, because there is a demand for this larger, for this small sat rockets, but having a little bit more capability means they can fly, larger small sats, and even be able to use them in tandem, where we can literally launch, like, say, 2 or something, and still have a dedicated ride to very unique and particular orbits. That is a capability that ride sharing can't do. So they think there's a nice niche there. A lot of people think there's a nice niche there. There's a lot of upcoming rocket companies working on this exact market. So they think, by all accounts, that they'll continue flying Alpha even when Beta is flying, and even as they continue to support Antares as well. So are there cameras, onboard cameras on this rocket? Yes, there are. There are cameras on board the rocket. And yeah, that's something that's obviously pretty cool. We aren't able to show all of them, but we can show some of them. And at particular times, we'll be able to do exactly that. So yeah. This is from Corey S. Thank you so much. I appreciate your chat, saying, welcome to Cali, Tim and crew, pointy end up, flamey end down. It's so fun seeing that that we actually have the cameras out here to really give you a good confirmation. Yeah, how cool is that? Let's see. Yeah, thank you so much, Mike Jennett. This great broadcast, Tim. Big shout out to Firefly team for all the hard work at Astra. 100%. Again, space is not easy, and we're seeing them knock it out of the park so far, just even getting this vehicle on the pad and fueled up and going for a launch attempt this early on. Very, very impressive. This is cool. I love seeing these kind of comments. This is from, I'm going to totally not say this name correctly, but Wissiv Rees says, hi, Tim. Thanks for inspiring me to pursue a degree in aerospace engineering. That's what this is all about. That's what Everyday Astronaut's all about, bringing space down to Earth for everyday people. It's just helping you guys get excited about this stuff. For me, like, literally, if I didn't have a YouTube channel and a weird van that does 4K broadcasts, I'd be out here just totally nerding out. I would have probably a same tent or an umbrella and a lawn chair, watching rockets fly and just screaming at them by myself. This is my opportunity to be able to share this with you guys. Hope you guys come along for the ride and hopefully enjoy this as much as I get to enjoy it, which is an immense amount. This brings me so much joy. Seeing a rocket fly is one of my absolute favorite things. But what's even more exciting is when you learn how they work. When you learn some of the details that engineers get to, the problem solving they get to do, the little bits here and there of, like, all the little secrets of, even like things like liquid oxygen. It's just insane to me that there's fuel on board this vehicle that's so cold. If you went up and touched the side of the rocket right now, your hand would, like, stick to it because it's so cold. Just all these amazing facts and things about spaceflight get me excited. And the more I learn, the more I appreciate how hard people work and how brilliant people are. There's humans out there that are just so insanely brilliant, I can't even comprehend. And to be able to problem solve and make it so you can put things into orbit, just simply crazy. So, yep, it's my pleasure. I love hearing that people are out there, looking for and working on degrees in aerospace engineering and things like that. Really makes me smile. So thank you for saying that. Yeah. So this is actually really cool, Thomas. This is a fun little thing. You'll see on the screen right now is an A for Alpha. The next letter next to it, there's an L. Then there's a P. Then there's an H on the 4 things. And if you keep going, it goes back to A. So it actually, if you go around the rocket, it actually says Alpha on the 4 engine covers there. Fun little Easter egg. I think that's super cool. Which I just think is awesome. So the teams have had a lot of fun with that as well. So, yeah. Let's get to a few more. Again, thank you for those of you that are, super chatting and doing members. I really appreciate that stuff. That really helps us here at Everyday Astronaut be able to provide you guys this kind of coverage. And thanks again to the teams at Firefly for trusting us. I'm going to try to keep things a little bit more on topic-ish since this is Firefly's live stream. But just know from the bottom of my heart, it really means a lot that you guys are tuning in. And the support goes a long ways and makes this stuff possible. Because, yeah, it's gas prices these days, driving across the country is definitely expensive. So it's just this is an opportunity that we absolutely could not pass up, though, to be able to put cameras on a launch pad with a rocket on it that's about to take off. I mean, 4K, come on. It just doesn't get better than this. So you have to do it, right? Let's see here. This is This is a good question. This is a little bit topical here, but we'll take it anyway. From Troy Hammond, thank you so much, saying, hey, Tim, are you planning to head back to Florida to cover Artemis again? Yeah, we definitely want to. We definitely want to. You know, obviously the Artemis program and the SLS rocket is incredibly exciting. It's the most powerful rocket on a launch pad, I guess, ready for flight. I'll put it that way. I don't want to start a flame war here about what's the most powerful rocket, but we'll say it's the most powerful rocket that's ready to fly-ish. But I can't wait. I cannot wait to see that rocket. You guys know that that we've worked really hard to provide coverage for the first couple of launch attempts of Artemis. As soon as we know more, the teams at NASA are working through some issues to see if they can fix some of the leaks in the system, and I think they're going to be testing that like the 17th and or the 18th or something like that, and they'll go for another opportunity to fly, I believe starting the 23rd. So there's a small chance this van will be going right straight back to Florida. Personally, and that was a selfish thing, I hope that it scrubs until the next launch opportunity in October, so we can have a little bit of downtime and not just be a full-time like touring van thing. As much as it was fun to be on the road and get out here in a real hurry, that still was definitely pushing timelines. So this is from James Anderson. Do they shut off the liquid oxygen vents prior to launch? If so, how much time do they have till the tank's over pressure? So you'll notice that on rocket launches, those vents are always active and they're regulating the pressure, because even as they begin to drain the tanks, and as they're being backfilled by helium, or in some rockets, autogenous pressurization, so still using gaseous oxygen or gaseous methane or gaseous helium to backfill the tanks, you still need to maintain proper tank pressure. So sometimes you will see venting, and actually watch slow-mo videos of rockets, you'll almost always still see venting coming out of vent port on ascent. So that's quite normal, and it's just a way to maintain it and continue to have the pressures be perfect. I don't know if any of them would ever totally close entirely, because I think it's just kind of a ongoing modulation, so a dynamic thing. So, oh, this is fun to see. I got to do this. I'm sorry. When I see stuff like this, can I give a shout out to Jordan Y from Texas, who works at Firefly and helped manufacture the rocket. I can't do too many of these because there'll be a million, but this one made it into our chat. So from Ashley Davis, Jordan Y, big shout out from Ashley Davis. And I got to just say again, shout out to the teams at Firefly. It's been so fun to see them work on the vehicle and get this thing ready to fly, get this whole system put together. And again, seeing their facilities out there in Austin, Texas. Both their main campus is incredible, where the engineering happens and their mission control and things like that. But Briggs is where, so in a previous life I used to work on cars and motorcycles a ton. And going out and seeing Briggs where they're building and testing, like these are people in like machine shops just getting their hands dirty, literally working on space flight things, and I think a lot of people, I've talked to different people that a lot of them did come from like the automobile industry, come from racing and things like that, having racing backgrounds that went from precision manufacturing, precision tooling, and precision mechanic work from cars and high performance vehicles to even the most, in my opinion, this is about as high performance as you get. A vehicle with thousands of horsepower. I mean, come on. This is about as cool as it gets. I get the bug when I walk through a factory like that and I walk through a machine shop like that. I get the bug. I want to tinker. I want to help build and things like that. I got to say, it's very inspiring. If you are someone looking for a job, this is not they're not telling me to say this. I promise. This is just me. I would go out there and I'd be looking in LinkedIn for some positions. I know that Firefly's got some positions available. If you're looking for a job, I think these guys are hiring. They've got a lot of really impressive things on the horizon. I mean, they're going to the moon. I don't know if you guys know this. They're literally landing a lunar lander in about 18 months with NASA. It's actually riding on a Falcon 9. It's their Blue Ghost vehicle. Super cool. I had the opportunity to speak with Shay the other day, who told me a little bit about that. I have a video that we'll hopefully be able to post here in a little bit. We ended up having so much time setting up this live stream that we haven't had an opportunity to post the video yet. But I got to speak to a couple people and learn more about some of the things they're working on. They're working on really hilariously big things. Like, this is a company that I think a lot of people kind of went under the radar. And then all of a sudden, the last, 6 months, it's like, holy cow, these are some really big and exciting things. Yeah, just a little shout out. I'm just excited. Let's see. This is, okay, cool. Randy Wiedenfeld says, just got the metal Falcon 9 that we have in our web store. Thank you so much, Randy, for your support and your patience. I love seeing these are shipping out. That makes me so happy. How soon will we get more? I would love a smaller rocket for true size comparison. So, yeah, so we have 1/100 scale model rockets that we did our first run of. After some manufacturing woes, we got new parts in and they are shipping to customers. I've been seeing a handful on Twitter. It's so cool to see these in customers' hands. And that's the first of hopefully just a whole fleet of rockets. The biggest point for me is I wanted them to all be the same scale. It's so weird to me, like the common scales for model rockets is like 172 and like 177, all these weird scales. It's like, no, make it 1/100th, and I want all vehicles to match the same scale. So that being said, I decided that that's exactly what we're going to be doing. So the Falcon 9 was our first rocket that we put on in the store and made. Hopefully next, I really would love to do some small sat launchers. I mean, seeing Firefly's Alpha next to some other rockets and other small sat launchers like Astra's rockets and the Electron, Rocket Lab's Electron and Launcher, all these exciting new rocket companies. It'd be really fun to see them in size comparison because there's a whole, I mean, you could basically make a perfect gradient of size of all the vehicles that are out there today. They come in all shapes and sizes, and it's really fun. So that is the goal someday, just have this huge collection that we can get out there for people to be able to pick out their favorite rockets. And yeah, and again, seeing this vehicle out on the pad, compared to the Delta II was a very small medium lift launcher. It was right at the bottom end of the medium lift launch capability. Half the time it flew like small sat payloads basically. But it's been fun because that's the only other vehicle I've ever seen out here on the West Coast. And this rocket is frankly a lot closer in size compared to that than a lot of other small sat launchers. It's a very, very large rocket. Again, maybe we'll take this opportunity. Can we throw up those graphics again? Because I do want to remind people of how big this thing is. It is about 30 meters tall, so quite large in this small sat game. 1.8 meters wide, so 6 feet wide, and that's a big rocket actually for a small sat launcher, which is why it has such high performance as well. So this I like seeing this from L Motorsport fans saying, how meta is it that I'm sitting here working on designs for a satellite bus while watching this live stream? Thanks for the amazing coverage. I love that. Again, it's just so cool that we have this generation of people that are watching this stuff in real time, casually in their living room. We're getting we're getting shots like this. We're getting footage from all over the place from a ton of really exciting things about rocket launches that we just didn't have this kind of access previously. So it's so cool that this is becoming a bit of a spectator thing, that people are joining in and getting excited about this stuff. So, all right. Let's see. This is T. Burns wants to know, what's the purpose of Firefly anyway? This is the first time I've heard about it. Well, there's a race, my friend. There is a race to fulfill the needs of customers. There's so many new startup companies that have payloads that are trying to get to orbit. I mean, there is literally like a laundry list, a backlog of countless payloads that are trying to get to space because a lot of people have new ideas, new demonstrations, new ways to communicate, new ways to observe, new ways to look at the planet and study things like climate change and weather and track hurricanes. I can't even tell you how many people are out there literally working on satellites that are still trying to find a way to get to space as quickly as possible and as cheaply as possible. So the race is on still for a new crop of payload payload services. So that's exactly, Firefly is positioning themselves to be a staple in the launch industry. So, basically think about it here in the U.S., the most common, there's USPS, the Postal Service will deliver your packages, but there's also, of course, FedEx, and there's UPS. Globally, there's a handful of companies that deliver a package to a destination, and they're competitive with each other, and you have multiple solutions. There isn't just one out there, and that's the exact same thing. These things, there's payloads that need to go to space, and people pay someone to get them there. They're the UPS truck, they're the big brown truck getting things into space, and the race is on right now to be the first to be able to provide those services. So, yeah, Firefly can certainly fulfill those services for a huge crop of vehicles. So, yeah, super cool. Let's see here. I'm actually going to probably take a little bit of a break while we wait for an update here from the teams. We're going to leave you with the rocket on the pad here for just a little bit. But I hope I'll have a lot more time. We do have a 4-hour launch window to be able to get you guys Hopefully we see a launch day because the sky this is amazing. This is the nicest day we've had out here. So we're really hoping that we do have the opportunity to see a launch today. So stand by as we get more information here from the teams. But I'm going to take just a quick little fiver, but we'll leave you guys with beautiful views of this rocket in stunning 4K. We'll be right back. And I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. And if those of you that didn't read the little thing where my face now is, if you couldn't tell, and if you haven't checked our T0 time, we do have a new T0 time. So the teams are going for another launch attempt in today's 4-hour launch window. So the local T0 time is actually 4:20 Pacific Daylight Time PM, which is 42 minutes, and I'm going to wait for it. And 42 seconds from this exact moment. Lots of 4s and 2s. Mary Liz Bender is going to be very happy. Anyone else that's a fan of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, that's got to make you happy. So yeah, we're 42 minutes away from the next launch opportunity of Firefly Alpha. Look at again, take a moment to just gander at how beautiful the sky is. I really hope this thing takes off. And the later in the day we get here, the more beautiful that blue sky gets. I think, you know, the rocket just might, we don't actually have any official word yet on what caused the scrub, but, you know, they're getting quite close in the terminal count. So as soon as we have information on what caused that scrub, we will update you guys. But the good thing is, you know, maybe it was just the rocket wanting to put on a better show and be in prettier light. That's at least the photographer and me speaking. That's probably exactly what it is, at least on my end. So how have you guys been? I hope you guys didn't miss me too much. We shifted some stuff around here because the sun is starting to get lower and lower out here in California. So we're starting to get more and more heavily shaded, or I wanted to make sure I was in the shade, not getting too sunburnt. All right, so let's go ahead and answer a few more of your guys' questions here. Let's see. So yeah, as you see too in our little prompt here, after the first abort here, which was 38 minutes ago, the teams have been able to get another new T0 time for another launch attempt at 4:20. So really exciting. It gives that gives me a sigh of relief, honestly, because I feel like it came up out of nowhere for us. Like I feel like we were all ready to go, and all of a sudden we're in the last like 3 minutes, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't know if I'm just ready for this. You know, this is good for me. I don't know if they did it for me, and again the lighting, but I don't know. I'll stop talking. Let's see here. Let's look through a few more. Let's see. I don't really want to get into too much speculation here from people, so actually, I have a fun thing. We did have a lot of questions, and I've realized honestly the best way to answer some of these questions about this vehicle is to actually just go to a little website. I do this trick a lot. A little website, but this time it's not everydayastronaut.com. This time it's firefly.com, and clicking on their alpha link. Their website's amazing, but they actually look at this. They even have a way to be able to see the inside of their engine and of their rocket and stuff like that. So I actually forgot the payload of this vehicle. The payload capability is over a metric ton, 1,170 kilograms. Like I said, this is at the upper end of a small sat launch vehicle. That's like getting awfully close to medium class. Which please remind me, chat, or if anyone has information. I forget what where that officially starts. I don't remember if it's 2,000, 2,500, or what it is to get into medium class, or maybe it's 4,000. I don't actually recall off the top of my head. But that's definitely in the upper end of the small sat launchers, especially in this new crop. And that's on a 28.5 degree inclination. So that'd be like if you're launching from Kennedy Space Center, that's how much performance it'd have. If you're launching to SSO, so Sun Synchronous Orbit, or a polar orbit, that does decrease to 745. That's normal for all rockets to take a performance hit when they're not flying, straight due east. They're not taking into account the full rotation of the Earth. And like we said, today's mission is actually flying retrograde. So it's actually flying beyond SSO, so backwards, dude, in relation to the rotation of the Earth. So that's 745 kilograms. Again, today's flight has about 35 kilograms on board, so you can tell they're definitely not putting a ton of payload onto this vehicle for its inaugural orbital flight. So yeah, again, this website is amazing. I can't recommend if you want these stats on this vehicle. And again, 322 seconds of specific impulse in a vacuum is pretty impressive for a tap-off engine. So yeah, and same with almost 300 for the Reaver. So that extra expansion ratio, the longer nozzle on the Lightning engine in the upper stage, does allow it to be a little bit more efficient in the vacuum of space. Pretty cool. So yeah, that's, again, shout out to that website, firefly.com, and then click on alpha or /alpha. You can get all those things that you've been asking me about, and hopefully that helps. That's a good reminder for me. 1170 is its payload capability. Again, pretty impressive. So All right. Yeah. So again, we're basically at this point just awaiting more information, and hopefully we receive an update from the teams here relatively soon, and that will give us some information on. You know, maybe we won't receive an update on why exactly they scrubbed, but the most important thing to me is that they're go for another attempt here in 37 minutes. So yeah, this is again, thanks to all of you that have become members, that have you know, just helped with today and asking really good questions. We'll take to air whatever we can with your comments and stuff like that too. So thanks to all of you who make that possible. I gotta say thanks to people like 55 Chevy Guy _ Steve. Thanks for the great coverage and informative videos. You are so welcome. Again, this is absolutely not a one-person job anymore. This has turned into a whole team of people that are helping provide this coverage. So it's just I'm so thankful to have people working so hard along with me that make this stuff possible. And yeah, our team for this mission in particular, and also for the Artemis launch attempts, it's just huge. It's a whole crew of people. It's so funny. I never thought I'd be borderline running like a production company, but here we are. Here we are doing basically exactly that with some state-of-the-art equipment. Again, we've got some awesome cameras out here on base. A lot of 4K, you know, obviously the 4K pad cameras that are also going to be recording some slow-mo footage for you guys. But we also have some awesome tracking equipment here. We'll be able to provide you guys with clean feeds of the ascent of this Alpha rocket. It's going to be super fun. As soon as that thing comes up over the mountain, it's going to be quite the shot. You can basically only see our bright orange tent there in that shot, but you get the idea that we are here with lots bright orange. That's pretty obvious where the Everyday Astronaut team is when you see bright orange. So, all right, let's see. This is from. We do have confirmation that weather is go for this new cycle too. So the teams have been tracking weather a little bit.